All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Caleb Hudson here with Barstool. I'm sitting with Justin Forrest, the combo guard, elite combo guard, I should say, out of Appalachian State University. Justin, great to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
I appreciate you for having me, man. It's an honor.
Yeah, man. Courtesy of Thomas Hennigan, he told me to bring you on, and he said you'd be a good interview, and he enjoys watching you play. I know a lot of people at App do. What's, I guess, kicking things off here, what is the reason for you choosing App State? I mean, what kind of brought you to App versus every other school?
First off, shout out my boy T Henny, man. You know the feeling's very mutual. I like watching y'all. I love watching y'all guys get out there, man. But me choosing App really was me wanting to get away from home. Really, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I went to high school in Decatur. Grew up there, and I went on a visit to Appalachian in like March of my senior year, and it was even like 35, 40 degrees when I went down. I'm like, man, it's cold. It's supposed to be springtime. But I mean, it was the atmosphere of the school, man. It was different. Boone is a special place. If you've never been, if you go and spend a week in Boone, I feel like you'll fall in love with it just because of the people there, the environment, and I mean, it's a family oriented program, and I love it there.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned falling in love. That's why half the reason half the students end up going to App State is because of the environment up there, the mountains, the view. You just really can't beat it. You get the whole shebang, as they say. You mentioned that environment and that program that they have at App. Obviously, App hasn't been known for its basketball program in the previous years. So what type of mentality are you and the rest of the program trying to build to get higher ranked recruits into that program and become a better organization? I mean, you guys are doing an incredible job thus far becoming that a more elite program, but what's it going to take for you to jump to that next level?
I feel like this year we really took a huge step in that this coaching staff that came in. They did a outstanding job of changing the program around just in the first year. So I mean, if I would say anything, I would be just for us to continue to build off of what we did this year. I mean, like I said, the coaching staff came in, they implemented what they wanted to implement, and we all followed it, tagged along, and we had an amazing outcome, way better than what we had last year. And we just want to build off that. We have the confidence in ourselves now, and the league is starting to take notice of us a little bit. And even we can't thank our fans enough this year. We had an amazing fan base this year, and all the people who came out to all of our games, no matter if it was snowing, if it was raining, if it was cold, man, we had people there every night. And I mean, that really helped us. It motivated us even more to continue to, just bring a winning culture of basketball to Appalachian State.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys are doing an incredible job. One of the things that I think slid under the radar at App and for the basketball program taking that next step, and it was a loss, but I don't chalk this up as a loss, is that 8-point deficit against Michigan, right? You guys had an incredible matchup against Michigan. You went off, popped off, and had 27 points. Talk us through that game and going into it, what your mentality was as a team, and then what the results were, and how was the locker room after the game?
I mean, that Michigan is a historic game whenever they play Appalachian State, just from the whole football thing that they had and how we beat them. And so, going into the all season, as soon as we found out, really preseason, we found out we was playing Michigan, and we were really excited because I mean we believed in ourselves. Like we worked hard all preseason through everything we went through. We believed in each other, and we really just felt like we had the confidence to go out there and win that game. We just fell short. Even afterwards, even it was only game one, but even though that was our first game, we didn't even I don't think people understand, we didn't even have any scrimmage games or preseason games this year like we would normally have. So Michigan was our first real first real raw game, and we figured what we had to we figured out what we had to do after that loss. But we definitely picked up a lot of things off of that game, and it just helped us start off our season as good as we did.
Do you guys think you gained more respect from Michigan as a program? I mean, they're already still hurting from that loss against our football program years ago. I mean, people keep bringing it up, and I'm a Michigan fan, so imagine me going to App and having to deal with that. Do you think after the game, the coaches and the players from Michigan gave you that new level of respect playing that different Appalachian basketball program?
For sure. I think a lot, not just Michigan. I think a lot of programs and coaches who watched that game took notice of us and understood that we have a very talented team. We have a very great coaching staff with which a lot of people already knew with going into that game. So we were already it was an anticipated game to where it would be a very good game just based off of our coaching staff and knowing what they bring to the table. And then we had a talented group of guys. And so I think we gained a lot of respect, not just from Michigan, but a lot of other programs out there.
Yeah, I mean, you have guys like Isaac Johnson and Mike Bibby. The roster is still loaded with a lot of talent on that team. And going into this next season, what's the thing you're looking forward to most about working with this new group of guys and the current roster that you guys have?
Just bringing along the new group of guys. With me being a senior, try to just help these young guys get along, and even the freshmen who were just freshmen last year, now they're about to be sophomores. We went through a lot of battle tested things last year, all year long. So, those guys, even though they're only sophomores, they're still going to be, helping those young guys come in and just bring everybody along to help elevate our program and keep going where we got this thing going.
Well, that's incredible. I mean, you guys are doing a great job. Your leadership just shows on the court by the way that you handle yourself and the way you carry yourself. You just have an elite level of play, and that's just absolutely incredible. Transitioning more into the fun side of things here, man, I just built my third My Player in 2K, trying to build the best player 2K wise. What is your thing?
You would be surprised. I don't even play Madden. I don't even play 2K. I play Madden.
Yeah, I bet. I was gonna say. I mean, playing basketball all the time, it must be nice to get away from the 2K scene.
Yeah, the 2K just became a little. I fell off the 2K wave after freshman year of college for real. We used to play a lot freshman year, but after freshman year, I really stopped playing 2K.
Well, no, I get frustrated because, I mean, I'll be dribbling down the court and all of a sudden my player is dribbling out of bounds.
Yeah, the way they handle that thing every year is different, man.
The mechanics are just
yeah, man, it's different the way they do that.
They're a disaster, looking like a buffoon walking out of bounds with the ball every time I'm dribbling down the court.
That's different.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, I mean, Madden's more so my speed as well, but I do love a good game in 2K. If you had to challenge anyone in the locker room to a game of Madden, who's the best guy and who are you taking on?
The best guys, the best guy I'd probably say was JC. It was JC. JC was the best at Madden.
Okay. All right. Who's your team?
Madden. I played with the Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks. All right. DK Metcalf, huh? He's a monster.
Yeah, I played with the Seahawks.
All right. So why the Seahawks specifically? You familiar with that Seattle? I figured you'd be a Falcons fan or something.
No, yeah. Well, being from Atlanta, it's a struggle cheering for these teams, man. So, no, I'm a Seahawks fan. They're so dynamic, man. Like their offense is. You got a Russell Wilson. You got their running back from Oklahoma State, and you still got Marshawn Lynch. Like you said, you got DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett. It's unstoppable. And you got Bobby Wagner, Jadeveon Clowney on defense.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Oh man, I'll have to take you on sometime because I'll put that to the challenge. And just to dig up some scabs for you, being from Georgia, 28-3 is all I got to say because I'm a Patriots fan.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, man, that definitely. I was in tears before that game almost ended, and then I was definitely smiling. Well, going towards the crowd questions now, we have from Reynolds Seaton _Seaton. He wants to know your favorite Gunna song. I think this is a little oddly specific. I don't know if you know this guy, but
yeah. My favorite Gunna song, man. I don't know. That's by far. He knows that because he follows me on Instagram and he knows I'm a huge. If you know me, you know Gunna is my favorite artist, and I'll debate it any day. So for him asking me, that's a tough. I would have to say my favorite Gunna song of all time might be a song called Phase off our album he had called Drip Season.
All right. Well, for all you stalkers out there, if you want to go follow Justin here on Instagram, his Instagram @ is _HoodRichJ. Please go give him a follow. Don't be mean. Don't stalk him either, because that'd just be weird. And he clapped back at me for that. That'd be my fault. Going on to the next one, Max wants to know your favorite pregame ritual. What are you doing to get in the right headspace before you walk out onto that court?
My favorite pregame ritual that I feel like calms me and keeps me sane is wherever we go, wherever we play before we play, we always sing the national anthem. And as the national anthem is being played, I always say a prayer before the game. And I feel like it calms me. It removes all the clutter from your head and any butterflies that you would have. I mean, even just playing a game of basketball, you always get butterflies. It could be a pickup game. It could be if you just love the game that much, you always get those butterflies because you're just so excited to play. So I definitely say me having that prayer before the game will definitely be a pregame ritual I enjoy.
Yeah, and I mean that pregame prayer before any game gets you in the right mindset. I know personally I'm the same way. You do have those butterflies, but there is nothing like that pregame prayer. And the way you guys bond as brothers before you walk onto that court is definitely a huge ordeal. And you talk about the pickup games. Do you ever walk into the SRC and look at the people playing in there? Does anybody ever try and challenge you and get frustrated?
Actually, after my sophomore year last year, we used to go to the me, Oshawn. We used to go up to the SRC and play with those guys. Even this year, a little bit. We went up there before the season started. A couple of us went up there just to hang with those guys up there at the SRC and play with them up there, get a little conditioning.
Who's challenged you the most up there?
I haven't been up there in a minute, so I couldn't even remember. I remember faces. Like if I were to see their faces at the SRC, I definitely remember them. But I'm not too good with the name.
And now, if you had to choose any type of shot you're going to take on the court, your number one shot, go to, you choosing 3 mid-range, or you going for the layup or the big flashy dunk?
I'm definitely choosing a 3-point shot.
3-point? I mean, we saw that against Michigan. You had that nice little Dwayne Wade roll on that bounce back on the rim too.
Shooter's touch.
That shooter's touch, right? Pro touch is what they call it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Barstool Sunbelt actually decided to hop in, one of our affiliates, and ask a question. They want to know your favorite conference opponent to play on the road.
On the road. Man. This I don't think, and I argue this with, not argue it, but I tell people this a lot. This Sunbelt Conference, man, is I feel like, to me personally, is one of the best basketball conferences there are out there, just by how much talent and how hard we play in this conference. On the road, I would have to say my personal favorite place to play on the road probably would be Texas State.
Texas State.
Like, anytime we play at Texas State, it's always like they're built, like where they play at is not that big, but it's not small either. So it's like the perfect size, and then it's kind of like it caves in a little bit, so it's really loud in there. But it's always a great environment at Texas State.
Yeah, and that's incredible. I mean, that's part of the game, is having that environment, having those fans to definitely, and especially walking into enemy territory. It's cool to shut them down, so to speak, and quiet them up, especially when you hit those 3-pointers like you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely say Texas State.
Awesome. Well, this question I completely forgot to ask you at the beginning. This is on my end, but we had a fan who guessed the right interview that we were going to do next. Obviously, you completely forgot to ask us, so pardon me. And the fan has chosen to remain anonymous, but he says, obviously, the life of a student athlete is a busy one, and there's very little downtime. But when you are free, describe your ideal Boone day. It can be favorite hiking, chill spot, favorite hobby, activity, place to eat, etc. I think this is one of the best questions I think I've gotten on this show.
Definitely. If I have an off day in Boone, no workouts, no practice or anything, probably go right down. A couple of me and my teammates would probably either go to waterfall, or we'll probably just chill around the pool or something, either at the cottages or over at the Standard. But one or the other, really.
Yeah, the cottages really enjoying the pool.
Yeah, it's just really just enjoying the view, man. Boone, like, if you can catch Boone on a good day, like those good days in Boone, they're like they're amazing. And like, but it gets hot in Boone, like especially in the summer. So like
Especially being up high like that, that much closer to the sun, man.
going to Trash Can Falls or just going to one of those waterfalls or man, just chilling out or even grilling out. We grilled out a few times. I live here at the Standard, so we have like a grill down there. We've grilled out a few times here, so it's really just whenever we get those off days, we're definitely just doing something like of that sort, or just staying in and playing video games. Really,
Yeah, I know those off days don't come very often, so or very seldomly do you get the chance to sit down and just kick up, kick your feet up and relax. So I'm sure you take full advantage of that.
uh-huh.
Carrying off of that, he also wants to know, how do you think that alumni and students can transition into that elite level of play? I know I asked you earlier about you guys as a team and a program and coaches, but what can the play or the fans and the alumni alike do better in order to change this program and become that next tier?
Um, I mean, just I think our alumni they do a good job. Like this year, this past year was probably like the first year I've met like the most alumni that I've ever seen since I've been here at. Well, this past year, I met a lot of the guys who went here. A lot of the guys who help out with the program and just with athletics in general. But I mean, I would just say continue to come around and show the support that they're doing right now. Um, we feed off of stuff like that, man. It helps us it makes us feel special and makes us feel good knowing that people from the past are still supporting us and watching us and just giving us that energy and that extra push that we need.
Yeah, and for all you fans out there listening and watching this right now, please know that App State athletics does extend beyond just the realm of football. As much as we do love our football program, we also love all of our other sports programs. And you heard it here from Justin. Please go out and support this next coming season. Basketball team's incredible, and they just continue to move on up. And speaking of transformation, what would you say is completely different about this high school game? I mean, players are now going to the AAU level instead of high school basketball, whereas back in the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, etc., it was all recruitment out of high school. So why is that game evolving into AAU and summer leagues and different types of programs to move players up to that next level?
Well, just like you said, the game is evolving. It's the players evolving. Like I talk about me and my teammates talk about it all the time. Even though we're in college and we just left high school, man, it's like every year you see a new wave of kids that are just doing something that you like that amazes you. And when these kids have the talent that they have at a young age, and in these times that we're living in, money is if you can get that opportunity, you always got to take the opportunity when you can get it, no matter so if it's going to benefit you and your family, you got to definitely do it. So I feel like it's a lot of opportunities coming to young kids that are very talented, where they feel the need that you can always come back to school, but these opportunities to go and chase your dreams, they don't come too often. So when you get those, I just feel like a lot of opportunities are coming these young kids' way because they're so talented and they have bright futures and they're just seizing the moment, man.
So do you think that's taken away a little bit from the high school game and the spirit of high school basketball? Because football is definitely the pride and joy of a lot of programs in high school and both college levels. Would you like to see more involvement from the players at the high school level because they fear getting injured? They may not play as much. Do you think that risks the spirit and the joy of basketball at the high school level?
Oh no, the joy. I think the joy and the spirit is definitely still there, especially in some states. It may be lesser than it is, but I definitely feel like that energy and hype. Like I still like my little brother's in high school, so yeah, I know like I watch their games online as much as I
Who's
can.
better?
Definitely me. That's not a question. He's a upcoming junior right now, but I definitely feel like that energy and spirit is definitely still there in the high school game. It may be a little bit more shown in the AAU because of, like I said, the talent level that are on the circuit, rather than it's the teams. I would say the teams definitely like AAU teams are definitely going to be better than high school teams. So like the energy and the competition and just the atmosphere is going to be a little bit more better when you have those competitive kids all teaming up on one team playing against another group of very a group of very competitive kids.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. Like these kids just get better and better each year. There will be kids who aren't even playing college ball that are coming to App State, and I'll go to the SRC and start playing. And that kid was first team all conference, and I'm like, dude, what, you're not even trying right now.
You wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, one of the bigger things that is important before going into your game is that hype song. What's your go-to song? I mean, there was a TikTok that came out recently. A Florida football player was like, "What your teammates think you're listening to," and some heavy rock or rap or something, and then he's actually listening to Adele. So, what's your song of choice?
My song of choice would definitely be my song of choice would definitely be a song called "Freestyle" by Lil Baby. Definitely be a hype song. It would always get me in that mode to get ready to go and play.
That new Little Baby album is something different too.
Definitely is. Most definitely is.
All right, and to wrap things up here, Justin, it's been an incredible interview. Thank you so much. We're going to have you on again for sure. What is your major and most memorable game you have played in? Even if you didn't play.
My major, I'm a common studies major, leaning more toward the broadcasting side of it. And my most memorable game would probably be this past season when I hit the game winning shot against Georgia Southern. Only because that shot made ESPN top 10, and it was the number 4 play. And I mean, growing up as a kid that loves sports, man, seeing yourself on Sports Center is just it's one of the greatest. It gives you one of the greatest feelings ever, and I just don't feel like you can. Nothing since I've been in no game has topped that since I've been in app, and we won the game, so it's definitely a plus for that too.
Well, that's every kid's dream. And for any of you young kids watching out there that do get the opportunity to watch this, definitely keep chasing it. It does show that, being a small town recruit and underranked at best, you can still make it out there. And that's just incredible. That shot was absolutely amazing, man. I definitely like the 3-point game myself. Not the best in the game. I'm still waiting on my growth spurt. So it'll come here soon, hopefully. But Justin, awesome. Thank you so much again, man. Next time for everybody watching, we're going to get Justin back on here. He's going to play me in some cup pong through the phone. We're going to keep track of it. We'll ask a couple more questions. So again, everybody, I'm Caleb Hudson from Barstool. Justin Forrest with me. Again, if you want to follow him, Instagram _HoodRichJ. Justin, you want to close it out?
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on the show, man. I'm welcome anytime to do these interviews, man. I love the app family. Love you guys, man.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.